good, people? It's your boy DJ Haddon. I want to give a shout out to Trackstarz Live. Keep it locked, y'all. It's going down right here, right now. You heard it from your boy D Haddon.
Yeah, back in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Wright to Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. All right, now if anybody's been rocking with the Trackstarz for a while, when we were all single, we used to talk about relationships every week on the show. So now that we all married and everything, we've been kind of getting away from that. But we realized that some of you guys may be looking for love. So what we are going to talk about today is it's called deal breakers. What in a relationship, or what about the person you're looking for, or what about yourself that you're unwilling to change is a deal breaker? I can't can't deal with somebody who smokes, can't deal with somebody who isn't a Baptist, can't deal with blah blah blah. What is something for you that's a deal breaker, and is it legitimate?
And I think this goes out to every age. I think young people can benefit for this, older adults can benefit for this, because relationships are all age. At this point, you have friendships, you have relationships with the opposite sex, you have relationships with parents. So all these things kind of come into play. One that sticks out in my mind is maybe a husband and a wife who disagree on how to raise a child.
That can't be a deal breaker. You married?
Not necessarily. I'm talking about before you get married. Like, one of the things that come to mind are discipline. Some people say that they just will not discipline children to a certain extent, but some other people feel totally different about it.
So if you and your wife disagreed on how to discipline your children, you wouldn't have married her before you got married?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about like in the dating phase. Yeah. Like, I think we were past that when we started talking about kids and everything. But that's just one of those.
That's what I'm saying. If y'all were dating and that came up and she was like, I do it this way, and you're like, nah, I don't do it that way, you wouldn't have married her?
Well, that's just one of the things I'm talking about. When I'm talking about like disciplining kids, I'm talking about like the whole gamut, not like just discipline. Like, how do you feel about them being able to do XYZ? It's like different things that kids could do.
That's what I'm saying. If y'all disagreed,
I think it'd be a deal breaker for most people.
You?
No, not for me. Not for me.
What's a deal breaker for you?
I guess if my wife and I had different definitions about submission, like being submissive under the will of God, that would have been different.
Ooh, what is your definition of submission?
Man submits to a woman, woman submits to a man, just as we submit to God together.
You submit to the woman.
Mm-hmm.
Are you being honest?
Oh yeah. You could bring her in here. She'll back that up. Yeah, she'll back that up.
You being honest? That's funny.
Yeah, but no, like really, this whole conversation came because I felt like one of the bigger topics that we don't address much is homosexuality. You know what I mean? And the difference that one person may have as opposed to another person. It really comes down to your beliefs. And I think beliefs are what we're really talking about.
We address that all the time, right?
Yeah, but we don't ever
bring it up.
We don't ever take ownership of that.
Yes, we do. We talked about that at least 4 times.
Disclaimer: I haven't been on the show when they talk about that. Disclaimer: I can't be sued.
Okay, so what's a deal breaker for you, Jeremiah? We know you got some
deal breakers. I don't really think about that. What are some deal breakers? I don't know, man. Like, I can't think of none right off the bat.
What about drinking?
What if Maya like had an extra foot or something? Like, what could be like? Yo, no, I can't deal with that.
I'm pretty flexible. I think definitely that. I was turned off by loudness.
Having a baby?
No, loudness. Like somebody's just a woman that's loud.
I'm taking cues from Ryan's wife. She's giving hints.
That's a deal breaker?
Not a deal breaker.
Somebody being too loud? Ratchet?
Yeah, somebody being ratchet. Like, I can't deal with that.
I don't think anything physical should be a deal breaker. Like, nothing. You asked about a foot. Yeah, that shouldn't be a deal breaker.
Foot.
I think something realistic like alcohol would be something that I
didn't tell you where the foot was. Does it matter?
Come on. Come on.
And the calf.
I think, okay, to be honest with you, I actually did date somebody and we called it like the deal breaker was she was like, well, I'm gonna drink alcohol and I'm gonna get down when I want to get down. I'm a Christian, you're a Christian, you can't judge me for it. It's not a sin. So I was like, nah, that's a deal breaker in my house though. It was.
Okay.
It was.
What else? I guess beliefs, like what you believe about God.
Yeah.
That's a deal breaker. If what she's like, what? Okay, let's start extreme. What if she's an atheist? Deal breaker.
Deal breaker.
Off the top.
Off the top.
Off the top.
Okay. What if she?
What if she is an atheist, but she's everything you dreamed about, like that you wanted?
Deal breaker.
But it's still a deal breaker
because that's not what you wanted.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying, like everything that you wanted,
Would it be
like everything, like
physical stuff,
physical, everything intellectual, like you have a conversation, everything's going good, and then one day you went out, and then all of a sudden you find out like, hey, I'm going to church. No, I'm just saying, like you found out, like say somebody hooked y'all up, you went on a couple dates, and then one day you decide to talk faith, and then she like, I don't believe in God. Is that the end?
That's a deal breaker.
It's the last date.
It is. It is. I actually went on one of those. It was somebody I pursued for a really long time, and it was like, what I need God for? I got money, and I was like,
God over money, son.
So we'll just be friends from this. We'll just be friends from this
Who's
point.
gonna wear that hoodie for nothing?
I know, right?
Yeah, we'll just be friends from this point. That was like the determination at that point because there was no going. You can't get past that.
I got deal breakers on. If I can't trust you, that's a deal breaker.
What would make you not? How would you know that you can't trust somebody? What's like to give advice to somebody that's like, what does that mean?
Pretty much, if you're gonna talk the talk, walk the walk. So if you're gonna tell me one thing and do another, then I have a hard time trusting that person. So that's for me. That's number one. Trust. Another deal breaker for me. I can't lie and say that it's always been this, but having a relationship with God, like I'm not saying you have to be church goer every Sunday, every Wednesday, Bible study, all that type of stuff like that, but to know who God is and be open to maybe learning more is a deal breaker for me. Respect just of people is a deal breaker for me.
So let's take the gloves off. Cheating. Somebody cheats on you before you marry them, before you get engaged, or while you're engaged. Is that a deal breaker?
Yes.
Yeah.
Easy.
I think we just helped some people out
because it's not a deal breaker for everybody.
Yeah,
it's definitely not. I mean, it's people out there that would say it's a deal breaker, but in the situation that they're in, like something will go all the way left. I'm talking about cheating and then having a kid out of the cheating thing, and then people will be like, oh no, I'm gonna leave, or ladies will be like, oh yeah, I'm done, but they still be there.
Here's another deal breaker. It took me a long time to learn this one. Lack of enthusiasm. Remember, we used to talk a lot about does somebody love you or tolerate you?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, I know it took me a long time to realize that. I think even my sister had to learn this at a young age too. What's the difference between somebody who really appreciates you and somebody who is kind of using you or just your acquaintance or whatever? But at a relationship level, it's somebody who really loves you and somebody who's just like, you cool, you alright, until something else come along.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's real.
And recognizing the difference, who's really worth your time and who's just kind of wasting your time. That's a deal breaker.
That's real good.
People who don't think, or person that doesn't share your same opinion on the topic of abortion.
Ooh.
Deal breaker?
I don't think it's a deal breaker, personally.
You said you don't?
I don't think it's a deal breaker. I mean,
tell us why.
Well, I mean, I'm like pro-choice, because I've been around situations of young women that have been through crazy situations where either they were raped or it was a guy who kind of and they didn't plan to have a baby. They didn't have the means of doing so or supporting the baby. So I mean, I just think there's certain situations now. Me personally, like I'm not going to abort a baby, but I don't. If a female is like, oh well, if I get pregnant, then I don't think that's a deal breaker for me, because I don't think I won't even put myself in a position for us that even to happen.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't think it's a deal breaker for me, because that's not going to be a situation.
I think we're coming up with topics that we need to cover at some point. Because abortion, I don't know if did we ever do an abortion topic? We definitely got to get into that one because that's a hot one because
we did it on birth control.
Yeah. So, but I don't know if we've ever covered abortion. Like, is it right? Because I know it came up a couple of weeks ago when we talked about Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
And how some people thought, hey, how come we're honoring somebody who authorized so many abortions? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we're going to have to cover that one. But what else?
2 weeks ago, we talked about the image of the child that was being aborted but was born alive. That sort of thing. So,
all right. So, what else? What else is a deal breaker?
A deal breaker for me would be also like if someone's family oriented, because I'm big on family.
Okay. So, somebody who isn't,
who isn't.
Someone who does not support your dream. Deal breaker.
Deal breaker.
Okay. What are some deal breakers as far as what somebody may want you to do that you're not willing to change? Number 1, TV remote control.
You just gave it away.
That's it. I nailed it.
That's not a deal breaker. You're saying what is something that
somebody would be like, you need to change this, and you're like, deal breaker. I ain't changing nothing.
I'm very set in my ways. My opinions are really pretty much the way it goes. You know the stereotypes you all used to joke about me before I met my wife. You know. That wasn't true.
It wasn't.
But okay, one of the ones that was a deal breaker for me is if my wife did not want to worship where I worship. That was a deal breaker for me. It was just because I feel like we need to sit under the same anointing. We need to sit under the same influence.
Right.
And I've seen where couples have had problems because they go to 2 different churches and one pastor.
What if you both decide to go somewhere else?
That's different. That's totally different.
Because you said it like, if she don't want to come where I'm going.
Well, I meant with my...
You said it right the first time.
No. When I say that, I mean with my ministry. Like, I'm a leader at my church. You know, youth leader. That's something that I'm passionate about. If I had met somebody who was like, oh, nah, we're going to go to my church, or it's nothing, or we're going to find somewhere else to go, then that probably would have been a deal breaker.
Interesting.
Yes, we've had that conversation. It was interesting.
Going along with that, what about like teaching? If the teaching is wrong, is that a deal breaker? If you go to let's say you meet somebody that do go to another church and you check them out and the pastor is just saying something crazy that's not scriptural.
House of prayer.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Is that a deal breaker?
If you visit the person's church that you're interested in and you realize they under some weird some crazy you definitely need to talk to them more and see if they believe it and why they there. That would just be that.
But that wouldn't be a deal breaker if she
not immediately, because you don't know why she there. Maybe she there because her parents there, or maybe she there because there was.
What if she's there? I'm there because God let me here, and this is where I'm supposed to stay at.
It really just depends on what she personally believes. If she agrees with the dude, then that's another problem. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's her belief. Gotcha. But just because somebody else.
What if they worked a profession that she just didn't agree with? Deal breaker?
Definitely.
What profession are we talking about?
That's what you said?
They represent a company. They represent a company that you just completely disagree with. They work for a beer brewery or something like that, and you're just like,
is that a deal breaker? I think it's a conversation. It depends on what you're talking about. If she works at a what else? Besides
bar,
that?
Hooters,
like a bar, club,
Hooters,
club, go dancer.
There you go. Again, deal breaker. Is this something she hid from you? Because you would probably know that pretty soon. You know
what if you met her there?
It's a deal breaker. What am I doing there?
What are you doing there, Ryan?
The wings.
Wings.
That would. That's it. The wings.
I think what this did was basically this was a brainstorm session on topics, because now we got to talk about abortion. We got to talk about Hooters.
It's good. It's good.
You know what I'm saying? But
come on, one more really good one.
But here's the thing. There's some superficial things that people consider deal breakers, like weight,
Physical things.
Yeah, natural
Money
versus not natural.
Yeah.
No, that's real. That's real.
Hey.
Have a way about that too.
I think
That's serious.
That was a deal breaker for me.
Does it help that my wife was wearing her hair natural when I met her? Does that help? Does that help my case at all? I can't see her. She looking at me?
I don't know.
Anyway.
That's a big deal, but I think if as far as advice goes on deal breakers, of course, you know what we believe. If somebody doesn't believe that Jesus Christ is their savior and is the Son of God and is coming back one day, like that's your bare necessity. That should be what you're looking for primarily. Anything else is a bonus.
But you can help somebody get into that.
Yeah, it's another. We just came up with another time.
Yes.
Missionary dating.
Yes.
We did that before.
But I think just as advice, if you are looking for a mate, make sure that that's number one on your list. Because the reason you're getting married is not just to chill. Like, you're getting married to fulfill something God wants you to do. So without God being a part of that and it being a solid foundation, I mean, what's the point?
That's another topic. We need to do what is marriage.
What is marriage?
What is marriage?
There you go. All right, hopefully somebody at home was writing that down for us and send that to us in the tweet, and we will get to those as soon as possible. All right, man, let's get back into it. You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.
Yeah, Mazel Tov and all that good stuff, man. It's for all my folks who got legal jobs. You beat the odds, you feel me?